Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. So, it seems that General Hospital decided to be a proper soap this week, and we couldn't be happier. Not only did the week begin with a good, old-fashioned soap opera catfight, it also ended with a massive reveal and a major return. How's that for a soaping? So many times over the last few years, GH has dropped the ball when it came to long storyline payoffs, but not this time. What we saw during the last few days was everything a soap should be and took us back to those massive ballroom soap reveals of the 1980s, where everyone was dressed to the nines, ready for a good time, only to have someone drop the bombshell of the year on the whole town. That's exactly what happened at the nurses' ball, even if it didn't quite play out the way we envisioned it. Instead, it was even better and more than we could have hoped for, all because of a young man named Gio on screen and off. Who could have imagined a year ago that a never-before-heard-of Cirillo cousin from the old neighborhood near the Verrazano Bridge would be one of the two Quartermain Corinthos offspring who would make this year's Nurses' Ball one of the most memorable ever? We had been waiting for this reveal for months on end, and felt the Nurses' Ball was the appropriate place for it to happen. However, we didn't expect it because of too many letdowns over the last few years when the perfect setup was there for something, and General Hospital chose not to take it. By the time the ball started, we were sure it wouldn't happen because it seemed that too many layers had not yet been peeled back. We just assumed that Dante would learn he had a son and want to find him, so Lulu would get the definitive proof by swiping some hair strands and running a DNA test. Even when Lulu first approached Lois backstage and Lois blew her off, we thought we'd be seeing Lulu with a series of near misses for at least a week. But nope, within 20 minutes of that moment, all of Port Charles knew that Gio was Brooke Lynn and Dante's son. The GH writing team deserves a ton of credit for how this played out, but so does Giovanni Mazza, whose Emmy-worthy performance aired on his 20th birthday. After absolutely stunning the Port Charles and living room audiences with his performance of Glow, an original piece written by Mazza when he was just 12 years old, Gio, the character, was on an emotional high as he prepared to take the stage again to play violin as Chase and Anna danced the tango. When he overheard the truth about his parentage through the dressing room door, we were sure he would never make it on stage for his next number. But he had to play, and the show had to go on. Too bad he couldn't do it, no matter how hard he tried. It was an epic moment indeed when he dedicated his performance to the parents he thought didn't want him before suddenly smashing his violin to bits, stunning the father who didn't know he existed and the mother who didn't know he was her son. And that's how you do it, folks. That's how to soap. Lulu and Lois are both in the hot seat, except not too many people know Lulu's role in this mess yet. However, they all know Lois was the maestro behind the whole thing. As Olivia said, she was the first one to run from the ballroom after Gio's meltdown. It all started making sense to Sunny too. This is why Lois introduced him to this random kid she had taken in. He was his grandson. Thanks to Lulu, Lois knew the whole thing was about to blow up in her face, so she did her best to get Brooke Lynn out of there before it did. Good thing Brooke Lynn refused to go, or Lois would have missed quite an emotional moment from her favorite grandson. It's hard to feel sympathy for Lois here. While her Brooklyn charm is everything this Brooklyn native writer needs to feel right at home watching GH, the woman royally screwed up. First, if she really wanted to keep this secret, why would she move Gio into the Q mansion? That was certainly playing with fire. Since Gio had been living in Monica's house, Lois had ample opportunity to tell the truth, but she just compounded her lies. You would think her little trip to Bensonhurst would have put things in perspective for her, but nope. Lois just kept on.